know what time it is. I ain't gotta tell you every single time. Greatest nation since you. Let's get into it. Let's just get into it. Another cop in Florida is under grand jury investigation. What is being alleged to me to be the case? Under grand jury investigation for another scene, but yes, he has implications dealing with the TxxTentacion situation. Now, not only am I being alleged this, my Florida connections are telling me part of this story was on the news. Now, what wasn't really dictated, and I will name the alleged news stations where they talked about the case he's on grand jury for, but I'm being told he also has implications in the TxxTentacion case, and that is what is the uproar right now. Let's talk about this in context. Remember, there were 2 investigators that were taken off of the issue and being looked into for further. One of them was fired. Now there's another one that is on grand jury investigation for his interaction in this situation. Now, I also want to add that this is part of why my heart feels the need to address my situation the way I am. Because here's the thing, if law does not get taken control of by the people, you live off of tax money. You make your living when I'm working and taxes come out. That's how you make your living. So you're saying you can violate me when you've been getting tax money off of me for years, getting your fundraisers and then go spend it at a crazy party? That's exactly why we're speaking about as we do it. And that's exactly why I told you I'm going to see how the year starts. And if I feel good about it, I'm going to be like, you know what, whatever. And I'm going to let it be. But if they violate me, dog, I'm running you guys to the moon. The only place you be heard and respected is the moon. That's the only place. Because I'm ready for it. I'm ready with it. And like I told you, I'm patient and I'm a fair person. I don't overstep things. There is not one person who you can find that can say that I disrespected them in a way, whether law for any, never. Nothing that wasn't deserving, ever. But I'm telling you, if I get violated at the beginning of this year, when you violated to do what you did, everybody gets it. It's going to be all for one for all, because everybody's getting it. I ain't holding back. I ain't looking to spare someone. Everybody's on the line. Everybody. And I don't care how much I have to show. If the tape speaks for itself, it speaks for itself. I don't care. Listen, the way I feel, if it's on the internet and something happens and your children see it, that was what you chose to do. That was what you chose to do. You chose to make those decisions. You chose. And you want to know what's messed up, guys? And I didn't go into detail now. Some of them have families, but they prefer male strippers. On with it. What is the situation that we're talking about now? Well, let's get into it. So, if this officer really does have implications dealing with this case with TxxTentacion, and it really does show us that there was a deeper plot and deeper motive done when they finished their investigation. As we know, there's an audio and video expert dealing with it. What does this detail us? Does this tell us that mistakes we deem mistakes were purposefully done? Does this tell us that there was a deeper aim, a deeper motive that was in play, that it will lead to something else that has nothing to do with the people who were on social media talking, doing different things? Well, I want to tell you that's hard for me to get, especially because now people are alleging to me that people were paid off to lead the story a certain way. Yes, that's what's being told to me. I have a lot of different angles hitting, and I have other people saying that these people are credible. Now, here's where I'm getting to. There's 2 things. Number one, if I am going to be releasing information local, I'm a very much so get in touch with the dancers that were entertaining your local people. And this is to the wives that are local. I will have the people that are able to dictate that. And you want to know what's crazy? The lack of condoms were involved. Are you serious? So who throws a big party and not everybody's using protection? Sick. That is sick, dog. I can't make this stuff up. Okay? I wish. So when I'm thinking of this type of stuff, and we do presume that a grand jury could begin to prosecute someone for their involvement in a situation dealing with this entire investigation, where does this put the suspects? Does this mean the suspects were fully guilty? Does this mean they know who the mastermind is now? I'm not really understanding what they're trying to hint at. Or are they alleging that law may have been issued as a mastermind of some sort? Now, here's the only thing I'm going to tell you the truth about. I'm confused how a bill of information could be created by the same people who did the initial investigation, because you didn't do the process right. DNA evidence is collected up front. How did you forget to do that? Then, instead of looking local first, you went on a manhunt. That's just confusing. It's all confusing. There's a lot of confusion. But if they do indict this officer of the law, it would make a lot of sense why they handled it the way they did. Because they're like, well, you know, instead of us rushing this ideology, we got to check over here to validate. Validation was everything before they would rush out information saying that any of these suspects were not implicated, which I presume not to be the case, because they're still being held for questioning of some sort, if not indictment. So it's hard for me to really weigh what a direction they're going to go with it. But I can tell you right now, there's a deep internal struggle right now to figure out exactly who all may have been involved in a position of authority in helping this plot that people are speculating about, even dealing with these 4 suspects to go out successfully. When I say successfully, not only to take out a target, but for them to escape. Think about that. How did these 4 men escape? What, were they driving like they were in Need for Speed? Like, how'd they do it? Were they doing a movie shoot? Did they blend in? How did they do that? Because you got to think about this. An escape plan is vital. And the way they ran down, I don't see an escape plan, especially knowing the hospital is very close. And usually there is some type of car that is responsible for being around that area. So are they alleging the responses that were to the situation may have been somewhat compromised? I'm not understanding either. But WPLG, I was told, was a very reliable source that was speaking briefly about this type of topic. So you can check out that news station. And this is a Florida news station. And that's one I'm told is credible in Florida. You know, don't prove me wrong, WPLG. I was told that you're very credible. So that's one of the news stations to check out in Florida. At least that's what I'm being told, as a source that is local has described to me. So let me know what your thoughts are on this situation in the comments below. Do you believe that this, without a doubt, shows that authority were involved in this case, and that this dictates the future actions of authority that will be to get out of their situation, or to, in a way, to dodge some sort of condemning of things they were actually doing around the scene and not being caught for doing? This is questionable. This is where I'm at with it. This is what I can't wait to see. I want to see how things turn out and whether people are actually able to be held responsible other than these 4 suspects. That's where we're at right now. But the internal struggle continues, and understand that Czar's been on his D. I've been on my job. I've been handling business. And, you know, this is my craft. But I also handle business in real life. But I still have done more to incite hard work, working towards this, than investigators we've seen to date, including friends. And I thank everyone that voted in community and gave me that type of credit, that you saw that most of the damage was done by the witness and affiliates. I really appreciate that. Although it's just voting, it is something that was on my heart to put there because I'm objective. I wanted to know what your thoughts were as far as I've been speaking about it, but I really do appreciate all of you. Of course, there's always going to be a select small few that don't like it, but you understand where I'm coming from, as well as what I'm going to do in the future. And for y'all, I'm going to turn up. If my January ends funny, I'm turning up to a new level. You're going to see me transform. I promise that. That's the one thing I can promise. It's going to be a transformation that the way I address it, it's going to tear them apart. Like, I'm going to rip them in half. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.